Desmond's in love with Patti LuPone, and so am I.
Yeah,
So,
Aren't we all? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to West End Best Friend. And today we are joined by not one, but two very special guests currently working on the new UK premiere of Diva Live from Hell. We have Luke Bayer, who will be performing, and Joe McNeice, who is directing. Hello, how are you both?
Yeah, hi, we're good. Thank you so much for having us. How are you, Luke?
I'm great, thanks. I'm good, all good.
It's a pleasure. Now, are you currently rehearsing the show? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's correct. We're just in the rehearsal room now. We've taken a little break so that we could join you for this.
Fantastic. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. Now, I'm sure loads of people are very, very excited about this project, but also very intrigued because it's a UK premiere of a one-man show. Very, very exciting. What can you tell us about what is in store for people who have or are about to book tickets to this show?
It's bonkers. It's so much fun. And we were talking today in rehearsals, and I feel like it kind of can change every day as well.
Okay.
And I love that. I love doing like solo shows and cabarets and things anyway. So to be able to be part of a show where I get to do that in different characters, there's like different characters I get to play that are all so different. I sing as different characters. It's a huge challenge for me, and it's so much fun. Kind of terrifying, but also very exciting. We're having so much fun finding things in the rehearsal room. I don't really know any other shows like it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite unique because it blends like different things. It's a very musical theatre heavy, but then also it's like cabaret style with lots of comedy, as Luke says, playing different characters, and then the whole setting that we're building inside the turbine with like cabaret seats is going to be quite immersive is the wrong word, but like quite informal. So it does offer something slightly different, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very exciting that it'll be at the Turbine Theatre from the 17th of August to the 3rd of September. And this is a very intimate venue, especially for a one-person show. You'll be right there with the audience. And you say you're feeling quite nervous, but also you must be very excited, especially for a show that can adapt depending on the audience. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I can't wait. I would say I'm more excited than nervous. I feel like once I've got it all down and I know all the script, I know all the songs, then I can just enjoy it. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun.
And especially compared to the first performance you did with this kind of show behind you at West End Live in front of thousands and thousands of people. It must have been great to showcase this piece of work in advance of the show. Were you guys excited or nervous about how this would be received by so many people?
I wasn't there. I was
Really?
away.
That's a lot, Joe.
Yeah, sorry. I've had Glastonbury tickets for like 3 years, so I really had to go.
Right.
Yeah, so I was there, but I FaceTimed in, which was really cool. And one of our production assistants was there in the front row, like in the little press bit, FaceTiming straight up to the stage. So I felt like I was there. Yeah, it was really exciting. I wrote a bit of a risky joke about Andrew Lloyd Webber as well. So when I could hear that people were laughing about that on FaceTime, I was like, oof, okay. Yeah, it was a great experience. But you're a seasoned pro there. You've done loads, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've done a couple of West End Lives now, and I love doing it. I think it's so much fun. The vibe is so good, and everyone that's there is just there to have a good time, and I love it. So I felt a little bit nervous because that was kind of my first outing as Desmond Channing in that full character, and obviously speaking as Desmond. I was on stage the whole time as Desmond Channing, who's the main character in Diva Live from Hell. So that was interesting and really fun and really cool, and kind of again really great to do something that's slightly different at West End Live as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I was there watching, and it was very exciting to see something new and some championing of new work. And this has been performed elsewhere before, but it's the UK premiere. We're getting new stuff. The Turbine Theatre is brilliant for this kind of thing. Can you just kind of both of you take us through how important it is that we do champion new and fresh work across the UK, especially as we come back from COVID?
Yeah, I think from a creative point of view, the reason that big shows are as big as they are is because someone took a risk on them a long time ago.
Yeah.
Also it's interesting that the show was developed in New York and now we're doing it over here. I think I've noticed a trend where there's been periods in history where New York has led the charge of developing new musicals, like especially during the 70s, 60s and 70s, and then in the 80s, the UK had all of their big musicals and it swung back the other way.
Yeah.
So it is a thing that flips all the time, but really since 2000, New York has been leading the charge again. And I think we've got a bit of catching up to do over here. So anything that's new is just as deserving as those old shows. And as much as I love a revival, and I really do, it's nice to see new things in our theatres, and we won't get those new things if the old stuff keeps being revived. So it's so important to give a chance to them, and we're so grateful to the Turbine to be established as a venue that gives a voice to that kind of thing. And there's absolutely a groundswell of movement in the UK theatre industry at the moment where people are saying, right, we need new musicals. Southwark Playhouse does a load, which is really great. Obviously the other Palace has sort of been set up for that. But long may it continue, because there are so many great writers out there writing new stuff. And unless they're funded and given productions, no one will get to see them. And as much as I love Stephen Sondheim, there are only so many Into the Woods that we need.
Yeah. It's great to hear you guys talk about this new work. And I personally love going to see fresh stuff, because as an audience member, you don't know what you're going to expect, do you? So speaking of what to expect, Luke, could you talk us through what to expect with this show? What's kind of the concept? Who is Desmond Channing, as you've mentioned before, and why is he in hell?
Sure. I'm not going to tell you why he's in hell, because you have to get a ticket to find out.
There we go.
But Desmond Channing is the lead character in the show, and he's singing this show, Live from Hell. And it's like a cabaret performance, and a cabaret show that he performs in hell for all these people and the people that come to see the show. Basically explaining why he's in hell for the crimes he committed and the journey of that, and then the characters he meets along the way. So there's some great music. Alexander Sage Oyen, who wrote the music, is sensational. I've loved and been a huge champion of his work for years and years and years. And the music's brilliant. It's so funny. Just it's great. It's really, really great. And then the book is hilarious. And that's kind of the journey through the show. But Desmond is the lead character, and he's very flamboyant and abrupt. And then you've got all the other characters that kind of play in through that as well. And it's funny, because I kind of jump between characters, and I'm still finding there's times in rehearsals where I'm in one character, and then I go to read the next one, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm being the wrong person here. Which one am I supposed to be? So it's so funny, because the differences between the characters are so slight.
Great. And I love just you, even yourselves, describing it as bonkers. It seems like it would be like a very self-aware show that pokes fun at other, like Broadway as a whole and the theatre industry. It sounds really, really funny, really exciting. And I love that you're mentioning you're playing multiple roles. So this is a question for both of you. How are you approaching the rehearsal process for this, like kind of creating these separate characters, but being it a one-man show? How are you going about the rehearsal process, putting together this production?
Well, it was sort of from the very beginning, like the first rehearsal we did, I thought it was really important for us to get a really distinct understanding of those characters. So we did quite a lot of character work on the first day, and we came up with like movements for each character to do that sort of like will help Luke anchor his thoughts in the mindset of that character. So you may not notice as an audience, but there are sort of slight movements that Luke will do to realign himself to playing a certain role, which was something that we thought, given the short rehearsal period of a one-man show as well, would help really rein that in a nice quick time period. But really it's just about creating a world in which these characters can coexist and exploring their relationships together throughout the text, and how those relationships change. Because I think when you're playing one character, it's easy to chart a journey of, oh, I go from here to here. But when you've got different ones to play, you sort of forget that not everybody's on the same journey. And I don't know how you found that, but it's sort of interesting as the show progresses, everybody sort of splits.
Yeah. For me, it was interesting because we read through the script and we were looking at the characters, and I was like, I know people like every single one of these characters. So I've been able to draw from inspirations. And even if sometimes when we're doing it, at the minute, we're still kind of going through runs and bits and pieces and putting things together, I go, okay. And I refer back to that person and how that person would be. So it's quite a personal kind of approach to kind of find those qualities in people that I know and have seen before.
So everyone out there watching, make sure you book those tickets to see Diva live from hell at the Turbine Theatre from the 17th of August to the 3rd of September. Thank you both for taking the time to come and chat to West End Best Friend. It's been great to talk to you, and I'm very excited about the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you.